The future. It's impossible to see. And when it's finally here, it might not be what you'd expect.
Lucid versus Tesla. Today, we are going to be evaluating all things Lucid Motors. And by the end of the video, I do hope that you have a better understanding of what Lucid Motors does, what are its strengths, and what are its weaknesses. This video was highly requested by one of my subscribers, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the new merger SPAC that is called CCIV that is currently announcing that it will be merging with Lucid Motors. And since then, the price have spiked up massively. Okay, so the premise of this video today is that I found this incredible video on CNBC which encompasses a lot of what Lucid Motors does, as well as a lot of very good interviews which I found really interesting. Okay, the problem is it's pretty long. So this video will be segmented. It'll be all about the good parts of the entire video, and it'll be segmented into the first part being the good and the second part being the not so good. So after watching the video, I hope you have a more comprehensive understanding of what Lucid Motors is and how does it compare to its competitors like Tesla.
In Lucid Air, we have truly a technological tour de force. There's nothing even close to it.
Lucid Motors is a California-based electric vehicle startup, and in September it revealed the Air, its vision for an electric luxury sedan. The company's first vehicle touts some impressive specs, such as an estimated
What Lucid has really been touting with all this is a holistic view of it being better than the Model S. And overall, I believe Robinson said that it's 17% more efficient.
A good amount of the talent at Lucid also worked at Tesla, which may give them a leg up. The CEO, Peter Rawlinson, was a VP of Vehicle Engineering and Chief Engineer of the Model S.
Rawlinson has been around the industry for quite some time, including a stint at Tesla. He's got the expertise that a lot of the other companies don't have for entering the space.
The chief engineer was also a former Tesla employee in addition to Peter. Not only do they have automotive experience, but they have EV automotive experience.
The space for luxury sedans, it's worth $100 billion worldwide. If you wanted to buy an electric luxury car in that space, there isn't one available. So we're going directly into that white space with Lucid Air.
One of the criticisms of Tesla has been, while the Model S and the Model X were certainly priced in competition with like Mercedes-Benz and BMW and Audi, they never really felt like luxury vehicles. The Lucid Air, in contrast, they're at least targeting having a level of luxury and premium feel that you would expect at a price point of over $100,000.
But we're making the battery packs entirely in-house because that pack technology is 100% Lucid's. We're going for a Lego brick, a modular system. This architecture is designed the way it is because it's super mass producible.
You have a long range, you've got to have a lot of battery. One way that you can start to overcome that is to improve the efficiency, maximizing the number of miles you get out of every kilowatt hour of energy in that battery. If Lucid lives up to the claims that they've made of over a 500-mile range for the top version of the Air, then they'll be at least 14% better energy efficiency than the best Tesla Model S today.
Range is one of the standout features of the Air. Tesla's Model S leads the industry with a range of 402 miles, while other manufacturers can be anywhere from 100 to 250 miles per charge. The Lucid Air is expected to have a range of 517 miles, and Elon Musk recently unveiled the Model S Plaid, which Tesla claims has a range of over 520 miles per charge.
In the electric vehicle space, the name of the game is efficiency and range.
That efficiency race will lead to the $25,000 EV.
It's a factory that you're building, which includes battery components. You've got the vehicle itself, the manufacturing, all of this. That's a major cost. That's on top of all the development that's already taken place.
And that's why I approach this with humility. We'll start production proper in spring of 21. And then we build the SUV, Project Gravity, And I hope to get that into Casa Grande in 23.
To bring the Air and its other vehicles to market, Lucid is building a factory in Casa Grande, Arizona.
The impressive and almost unique thing is that Lucid's actually building a factory. You need a lot of backing and you need a lot of talent to know how to actually build and assemble the factory to be most efficient.
In a few years' time, that will be good for nearly 400,000 units a year. So there's a 4-phase plan to get there, and we're just about close to completing the first phase now, which will get us to a factory which is good for 34,000 units a year.
Lucid plans to deliver to the North America market first, but the biggest demand may be outside it. Analysts predict record growth of EV sales in 2021, especially in Europe and China.
When you look at the markets and look at where EVs are expected to grow.
Last year, 143 new EVs launched around the globe, and by 2023, IHS predicts over 43 brands will offer an electric vehicle. But the company has a lot of challenges ahead. Automotive companies are notoriously hard to start, and EV startups have typically been failing endeavors.
Starting an EV project and bringing that to fruition is a real enormous task.
The auto industry is a tough business to get into, very capital intensive. For a high volume model program to develop a vehicle and tool up a factory and bring it to production, I mean, that's usually $1 billion to $1.5 billion effort.
It's funding, frankly. That's the biggest one, and why you've had problems at Faraday, why you had problems at Fisker. They ran out of funds through the development cycle of the vehicle, even in the case of Fisker post-launch.
While the company has been driven by a bold vision, financing it has been a challenge. In 2018, Lucid raised $1 billion from the Saudi Wealth Fund.
We're starting with the Dream Edition Lucid Air at $169,000. We'll bring Air down to a price point below $80,000 in 2022. I would love to be making a more affordable car right now. We just can't do that as a new company. But we can start with a high-end product, with a modest factory, and gradually move to a more affordable segment of the market.
The challenge is you actually have to execute and make those initial vehicles profitable enough to generate enough cash flow so you can introduce new models. And that's where Tesla really struggled over the last 10 years.
Focusing on the higher end does offer some advantages when trying to get off the ground.
You're going to be focused on a lower volume. You're not trying to push 400,000 of these out the door. We saw the trouble that Tesla had with the ramp up of their Model 3 and just trying to get production smooth and get the bugs worked out of the system. It takes time.
The luxury car market was valued at $497.8 billion in 2019 and is projected to reach $735.8 billion by 2027.
There's definitely a market for premium vehicles. BMW and Mercedes sell about 2 million vehicles a year each.
However, the luxury sedan will be released at a time when the market is moving towards SUVs and crossovers.
As the market is moving towards SUVs and crossovers, they chose to go out with a sedan, which is a very traditional luxury vehicle.
That can either be a positive for Lucid, because there aren't as many competitors entering that segment, or it can mean that it's just trying to slice a pie too thin when people are looking for crossovers and SUVs.
The company does.
Any electric vehicle company trying to come to market right now, there are a lot of challenges.
One of the biggest is charging. 83% of consumers who would not consider buying an EV said it was because of battery life and range anxiety.
One of the advantages that Tesla had was building out that supercharger network early on.
Unlike Tesla, Lucid will leverage the Electrify America charging network that is being built out by Volkswagen of America.
They've incorporated a 900-volt electrical system in their car so they can do 350 kilowatt charging, which is even faster than even the latest version 3 superchargers.
Lucid is following Tesla with retail spaces to sell directly to consumers, as opposed to a franchise dealer model.
We've signed leases on 14 stores. We'll have 7 up and running before the end of this year, and we'll have in the high 20s by the end of 21.
The challenge is the manufacturer that's setting up this retail network has to make all that investment in those physical properties. They also have to directly support those vehicles with service when they need service. This is an area that Tesla has really struggled with over the last several years since they launched the Model 3. As their volumes have grown substantially, they've struggled to keep up with the pace of providing service to their customers.
And Lucid will have to contend with Tesla. Elon Musk has cemented the brand and a loyal fan base in the world of electric vehicles. And in the US, Tesla made up about 80% of electric car sales in 2020 so far.
It's going to be interesting to see how this vehicle comes to market for the Air and whether or not they can attract that Tesla Model S buyer. Because the thing is, people aren't buying EVs, they're buying Teslas.
And while EV sales are just 2.6% of vehicle sales, there's an opportunity to grow.
Investor interest seems extremely high.